What is going on, my fellow warriors? It's your boy Grandpa Casual. We are back with yet another Wuchang Fallen Feathers video, and this is it, man. This is the last hurrah, okay? This is the final verdict, the final review of the game. All right, I'm breaking it all down, the good, the bad, the patches, the drama, everything. So if you stuck with me through this and you stick with me through the end, you'll know whether it's worth your time or your money. So let's dive in. So at first I thought Wuchang Fallen Feathers was a solid game. Was it perfect? No. But it had the bones of something special: an intriguing story, great combat, well-crafted levels, and multiple endings that actually felt meaningful here. It wasn't just another Souls-like clone, it had its own flavor in its own world and its own pace. Now that said, there were some technical issues, especially on PC. They were hard to ignore, okay? But here's where I respected the devs though. They patched the game, they responded to criticism, they actually improved it. They added quality of life updates that fixed a handful of bugs, and it genuinely felt like the game was trending in the right direction. And for a while it was. It launched on Steam mostly negative, but eventually it raised to a mixed review over time. But then came the dreaded patch 1.5, alright? And that's where everything shifted. Instead of more polished, the devs actually altered the narrative of the game. And they even softened some of the boss outcomes. They removed the ability to kill certain bosses entirely. It got to a point where you can only exhaust certain bosses. And these were bosses that had clear historical or political implications. And that's where the problem turned with this game, because these bosses aren't really easy to face at the end of the day. That's a Souls-like, right? They're challenging, they're tough. You might have to fight a boss 10 times. You might have to fight them 20 times. You might have to fight them 100 times. Who knows? It all depends on you. But at the end of the day, that satisfaction that comes from actually defeating the boss and eliminating them is what we strive for in these types of games. This is what we play these games for. To face the challenges, the overwhelming odds against us, and come out victorious. That is the point of these bosses in these games. But what the devs did here is they took that away from us. So instead of a satisfying victory after learning the boss's attack patterns and grinding through 2 phases of fighting them, you were told, great job, but you didn't actually really defeat him, all right? You kinda beat him, but you kinda didn't, because you just exhausted him. So technically the bosses were actually beating themselves at this point. And I can understand why gamers really felt cheated in regards to this. And this really sparked the backlash for the game. So gamers accused the devs of censorship, pandering, and rewriting their own work to align with certain ideologies. Yeah, it got serious. It got crazy. It even got to the point where some players even modded the game back to the original broken version just to avoid the narrative changes. And listen, I don't work for the company. I can't confirm the motivations behind these choices or anything like that, but I can say it did hurt the experience at the end of the day. But that isn't the only change that sparked some narrative around the game. Around the same time, Steam reviews began shifting, and not really in a good way. The game was trending from mostly negative to mixed, which was a sign of improvement. But after the controversy, many of the Chinese reviews vanished from what the US players could see, and now only the English ones are visible. And this made it feel like the devs or Steam were manipulating perception, even if that wasn't the case. Either way, it really damaged the trust between the player base and the company. But the real question that we're here for and what we're trying to answer is, did the game flop? And in my opinion, no. The game had a vision and it had effort behind it. The combat was solid and the bosses were unique. The story, at least at launch, was interesting. And the fact that they had multiple endings shows that they put care into the experience. But those post-launch changes and the narrative rewrites, they took something raw and engaging and kind of dulled the edges a little bit. So it's not necessarily the same game anymore. Now this is something that obviously affects those who have been playing since launch, not so much if you're just picking up the game right now. The good thing is you can say that you don't know what you don't know, and you can't miss what you didn't have. So you can take this game in with an open mind saying, hey, listen, I don't know exactly what they changed. I don't know what the game was prior to this. So you have the opportunity to take this game, play it for what it is, and see if it actually vibes with you or not. So I think that's an upside there. Now, if you would have asked me back at launch, I would have called this a certified buy. And I actually did in my 70-hour review. Now, with the controversy aside, with all the changes, this is a certified play in my opinion. If you got Game Pass, play it. If it's on sale, grab it. But I wouldn't advise that you pay the full price for this game. Not in the state it is today, as far as the narrative and the gameplay. Because honestly, I don't think you'll be playing the game or experiencing the narrative as it's intended. Now, if you don't care about narrative, you just want to fight tough bosses, you want to go through some nice levels, see some beautiful environments, then if that is what you're here for, this is absolutely for you, because this game has all of that. You get a challenging Souls-like with strong encounters and beautiful levels. You're definitely going to get that. but you won't get the same spark the original release had. And honestly and truthfully, I had a good time covering this game, and I thoroughly enjoyed Wuchang Fallen Feathers. I personally thought that it was a great time. I thought it was an amazing adventure. I thought the story at launch was awesome, and honestly, I still think that the gameplay is great, and I think that the changes that they made to fix all of the things that were wrong with it, the performance issues, the quality of life things, I think all of those things culminated together to really make this game a much better product than it was at the start. So I do give my props to those at 505 Games and Lizzie for what they've done. And I also want to thank all of you who have been on this journey with me thus far, even though a short one, those who talked with me in the comments, those who watched the videos, those who spoke with me in the comments, those who supported everything I was doing here. I had a lot of fun covering this game, and hopefully there's more in the future, but it doesn't seem likely. There hasn't been any news about any DLC or anything like that. The last thing that we did get from the game is an accolades trailer, and this trailer pretty much just covers the game and everything great that has been said about it. I don't think that those comments are false. I actually agree with those comments actually. So yeah, that is my take on Wuchang Fallen Feathers. I don't know where this game is going to go in the future. Like I said, I don't think that there's going to be any more content given to it. I think they might move on to another game. And as far as the channel goes, I think that I'm going to find another game that I enjoy and dive into and do breakdowns for you guys and cover the content, the updates, the patches, and everything like that. So stick around for more content. As new games release, I find a game that really vibes with me the same way that Wuchang had vibed with me, and I'll start covering that one more extensively. But until then, you can watch out for the list videos that I do and just covering the games that I'm exploring as I try to find that game that we will stick with for a while. But with that said, let me know what you think in the comments. How do you feel about Wuchang Fallen Feathers? Do you feel like it's a different game? Do you feel like it's a better game? Do you feel like it's a worse game? Whatever it is, I'm always down to have conversations with you all. This is your boy Grandpa Casual, and even now, continue to be safe out there because there's danger around every corner in Wuchang Fallen Feathers. Later.